So what is the Disney Skyliner and how exactly does it work? Is there a cost to ride it? Where can it take you? Well, today we're going to ride it throughout the entire Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida, and answer all of your questions. Along the way, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know on how to best use the Disney Skyliner to help you ace the magic. Today we're going from Hollywood Studios to Caribbean Beach Resort. This was recorded on February 1st and 2nd, 2024. Right now we're in the parking lot of Disney's Hollywood Studios. To access this lot, you either need to purchase a ticket to park here or have an annual pass or similar that covers parking. Alternatively, you can take a bus, boat, or rideshare like Uber or Lyft. Disney actually offers a special minivan service through Lyft, but we'll cover those other transportation options in other videos. So what is the Skyliner? The Disney Skyliner is a gondola lift system that will take you from some theme parks to some resorts and vice versa, but not to every resort and not to every theme park. It currently has stations at Hollywood Studios, as seen here, one at Caribbean Beach Resort, one in between Pop Century Resort and Art of Animation Resort, one at the Riviera Resort, and one at Epcot. Now, I know I said I'd cover the buses in another video, but just for perspective, right here is where the bus station is. The Skyliner cabins that you ride in are themed with different colors. Many, but not all, feature characters from Marvel, Pixar, Star Wars, and plenty of other characters throughout Disney's over 100-year history. In fact, you can sometimes find popcorn buckets and other merchandise themed to specific cabins such as Guardians of the Galaxy, Chip and Dale, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and so much more at the theme parks and beyond. Now, this station has some great theming to match Hollywood Studios' overall classic old Hollywood vibe, and like I said earlier, this was recorded in February, which is just after a refurbishment to the Skyliner was completed. This isn't the first time they've refurbished the Skyliner at this time of year, so if you're visiting around this time, or any time really, make sure you check the My Disney Experience app or the Walt Disney World website for closures on attractions, restaurants, and forms of transportation like the Skyliner here. For the Skyliner specifically, some stations might be open for 1 week during a refurbishment, while others may be closed that same week, so make sure you're reading carefully as to which stations are closed and when. Another very important thing to consider when choosing the Skyliner or any form of transportation at Walt Disney World is the weather. Here in Florida, it can get very windy. It can rain very hard, and sometimes you may even be in a hailstorm. It's actually happened to me at Epcot. At the front of the station, you'll see a sign telling you when the Skyliner closes. You'll want to check this, as this can change throughout the year, as park hours can change, and sometimes there's special events that will cause the Skyliner and parks to close earlier than you might think. Now, this information should be provided to you ahead of time when purchasing tickets or in the My Disney Experience app or Walt Disney World website, but it doesn't hurt to check this while you're walking by or when you're getting on the Skyliner to visit another park or resort. Wheelchair access to the left. You can also find closing times for the other Skyliner stations right here, and if that's not enough, you can always ask a cast member, as there's usually at least one in this area to help guests. This next sign tells you which station you're boarding to and which stations you can transfer to. Keep in mind, to get to Epcot, you need to head towards the Riviera Resort first, but we'll talk about that when we get to the Caribbean Beach Resort station. Now we're heading up this ramp to board our Skyliner cabin. As of the recording of this video, you can bring strollers on the Skyliner cabins. However, I would highly recommend again checking the Walt Disney World website or the My Disney Experience app to see what kind of strollers are allowed, as they've changed which ones are allowed over time. That being said, there is a sign here that will give you some information regarding what is and is not allowed and how to properly sit in the cabins. It also tells you how many people are allowed per cabin. At this point, you're going to see the Skyliner cabins in 2 lines. This might seem obvious, but you'll want to choose the line with less people. As you make your way towards the end of the line into your Skyliner cabin, you'll see at least one team member sorting people out for the different Skyliner cabins. Depending on how many people are with you and how busy it is, you could get a Skyliner cabin to yourself, or you may be paired to ride with others. Also, if you have a stroller, make note as to how that person just folded their stroller when they were getting aboard the Skyliner cabin. The always helpful cast member will ask how many people are in your party, and you'll tell them so they can help sort you into a cabin. Now, I personally will hold up my fingers to show how many as well. Once the cabin is ready, the cast member will tell you to board and tell you to watch your step, which you should. Try to catch any of the cast members' names as well on their name tag, or simply ask them, and then go into the My Disney Experience app to give them a cast member compliment when you have a moment. Then once you board, pick a side, sit down, and enjoy the ride. Once everybody is boarded, the doors are going to shut very similarly to the way the monorail doors do, which again, I'll have a guide on that in the future. Now, what is probably the most important thing you need to know is right here at the initial takeoff, and also when you descend down into the next station,